I'm trying to focus on these shorter sessions so you can recycle them or even pair them with another shorter session, because I know we don't always have time for the longer hour or hour plus sessions. So tonight, actually nighttime, as you can see with the windows from the dark windows, I've got the candle going in the back. It's actually snowing, so it's really kind of a nice cozy evening to do some moving. And for me, I did do a run in the snow, and I'm dealing with a little knee injury, so I'm going to be moving a little slower, which is kind of nice for an end of day flow. And actually, what I've been learning about my body is, even though I run a lot and I like to stretch the lower body, I'm finding the more I open up the back, the spine, the cervical, and getting some rotation, extension, and flexion, the better I sleep and the more refreshed I wake up in the morning. So I'm starting to really realize, even though I'm doing these long runs, it's not just the hips, the legs, the calves, it's the overall mobility and flexibility of the spine. So I'm focusing on some spinal movements, rotation, extension, flexion, and some hips and a little bit of legs, but this is going to be relaxing but moving a little bit quickly, since we only have about 22 minutes or so. So let's start in child pose. Big toes together, knees wide, pressing the hips back onto the heels, extending fingertips forward, allowing the third eye center to settle onto your mat, spreading and fanning out your fingers like a starburst, reaching your fingertips towards the front of the mat as you sink your hips down and back towards your heels. Landing, feeling your knees and your shin bones on your mat. Lengthening the breath. Allowing the inhale to fill all the way from your lower belly up through your ribs, filling the upper back, and then exhale, allowing your heart to melt towards the mat. Three more long breaths in and out. Whether you're starting your day, in the middle of your day, or ending your day, landing right here, completely and fully. Nothing else to do or fix or change about this moment. On your next inhale, take your right arm across your chest. You can even press up with your left hand as you thread your right arm across and under your left armpit, palm facing up, landing on the outer upper part of your right arm, right ear to the mat. Slight upper body twist, opening up the back and this little gentle spinal twist. Breathing fully in all the way to your hips. Filling up all four corners of the lungs and exhaling completely. Press up with your left hand, unthread your right arm, other side. Extending your right fingertips forward as you reach your left fingertips to the right side of the room, left ear to the mat. Think of one thing you're grateful for right now as you breathe into the side body. Press up into your right hand. Come to all fours. Notice the more grateful we become, the more beauty we see. Inhale, lifting your chin, spreading your clavicles, letting your chest shine forward, lifting your sit bones, and then exhale, press it all up, rounding, arching your upper back, tucking your tailbone. Inhale, lift, sinking your belly. Exhale, press. Your pace, you can go quickly, really creating some heat, or you can take it slowly. And then adding a little side bend here, ear to shoulder, wagging your tail. So we're going side to side here, just opening up the side waist, rounding, arching, pressing the mat away with your palms. If you'd like to activate your feet, you can curl your toes under as you press and round. Inhale, lift your sit bones, chin, chest opens. And then extend your right leg nice and long. Here we are. So it's like that, bird dog. And then extend your left hand. And then take your right leg across your body, planting both hands down for a nice side twist, or side lengthening, I should say. Side stretch on the right side, taking your left ear to left shoulder, rounding the right side of the body, extending your right toes over to left side, and then inhale, lengthen the right leg, left arm, a little bit of balance, a little bit of core stability. 2 breaths. And release, neutralize to child pose, big toes touch. Exhale, sink your hips back, forehead to mat. And exhale. Inhale, tabletop. Extend your left leg. Hips are square, so I like to come to the side here to show you that. So we're not open here. Toes are flexed down towards your face. Ahead of myself here. Inhale the right arm up. And then take the left leg across the back side of the body. Pointing, so between a point and a flex. So we're not pointing or flexing, but somewhere between stabilizing the left leg as you arch your left hips to the left, your left hip to the left, creating a nice round, like a rainbow at the side body, right ear to right shoulder. And breathe. There should be a stretch there, so if you need to exaggerate it, you can take your hands over to the right a little bit more, stretching and lengthening the left side of the body. And then come back to neutral, extending the left leg. Inhaling the right arm up for 3 breaths here. Getting into the core. Engaging the lower abdominals up. Neck is nice and long, reaching the fingertips forward. Plant the hand. Curl your toes under, hips back for downward dog. Big breath in. Open mouth, exhale. I love that saying, talking about gratitude. The secret to having it all is believing you already do. The secret to having it all is believing you already do. And that's being grateful. Even in the frustrating challenges of our limitations, for me right now, a bit of injury. It's being grateful for this practice. Focusing on the opportunities we do have for change and recovery. Really, the true key of yoga is not to have a flexible body, but to have a flexible mind, willing to accept our bodies. And as we soften with that acceptance, we create ease and grace for more opportunity. Bend your knees so the shins are parallel with the mat. And we're just going to do a little bit of core here. Open the right knee, a little bit of hip opening to left knee to the left. Come back to center, engage the core. Pelvis should be slightly tucked under. Abdominals engaged. Right knee open, left knee open. Right, left, opening, left, and then squeezing in. So there's a space between, but you've got active legs. Exhale, downward dog. And then look forward, walk your feet to your hands. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Ragdoll. Opposite hand into opposite elbow. This is a nice back body release. Head is heavy. Slight bend in the knees or a big bend in the knees, whatever feels generous. Breathing into the back body as you allow your head to drop even more, perhaps getting 10 pounds heavier. Release your hands. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Halfway. Ardha Uttanasana. Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, cactus arms, mini back bend here. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. And here, I like to call this Sharkasana. Gonna take your right thumb into the right hip crease and take your right elbow up and mini twist here. Taking the left hand into the left shin. Just allowing a very gentle spinal twist here in our Ardha Uttanasana. Front view here. So the elbows reaching up towards the ceiling, stabilizing with the left hand into the left shin or thigh if that feels better, and just gently pressing in like a little corkscrew, pressing in to the left thigh or shin and opening up to the right, elbow reaching up. Gaze can start, if it's available, start to look over your right shoulder. And breathe. 3 generous breaths here. Heart is reaching forward. Legs are nice and long. Chest is reaching forward. And release. Exhale, ragdoll. Bend your knees, sway side to side. Full release here. Feel all 4 corners of your feet. The toes slightly point in, heels out slightly, so your feet are really parallel with the side of the mat as opposed to this. We don't want to be pigeon-toed, but just slightly turned in so you've got nice length. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. This time, left thumb into the hip crease. You can even start to peel your inner thigh open here as you brace right palm into shin or thigh and open up. Left elbow this time reaching skyward, sending the hips back as opposed to tucking under and opening this way. We're not opening with our hips. We're not dropping the hip. The hips are level and square. The opening is coming from the mid thoracic, the ribs. See that mini mini spinal twist here. Really using the right hand to lever the opening coming from the side body. 2 more breaths. And release. Nice, relaxed, fluid ragdoll. Head is heavy. Drop anything that's holding you back from being completely in acceptance and generosity of your body right now. Halfway lift. Step back, high plank. Hold here for 2 breaths. And exhale, downward dog. Breath in. And out. Take your feet as wide as the mat, maybe even slightly wider. And the left hand comes in towards the center. Right hand twists, reaches for the outside of your left calf or ankle. Or if you need more support, up towards your thigh. We're going to come into another variation of that side body twist. So a spinal rotation. Your gaze comes under your left armpit. Both feet are rooted equally. So the twist is coming from the mid-thoracic, the ribs, not the hips. You're not sinking into the right hip. Hips are level and square. And then switch hands, taking the left hand to the outer calf, ankle, or right thigh. Gaze this time coming under your right armpit or right bicep. Hips are level and square, and breathe. Release. Nice long downward dog. Breath in. And out. And out. Walk your hands towards your feet, the back of your mat, and sink low into a deep, malasana. Grounding, opening. This is a very receiving and grounding pose. If you're having a challenge with your knees for any reason, you could sit on a pillow or even some blocks if you have, or come up a little higher here. This is actually how we should be doing our deep malasana. I was doing a more restorative version here. So this is an option, coming higher. And then we're going to twist here. As promised, we're getting into our rotations here. So plant left hand, brace the left upper arm into the left inner thigh, and twist open to the right. Option is to just stay here. Gaze comes up to the right and back. You can actually start to open up a little bit more. This is my right knee that's injured, so I'm not going to do too much more. So just dropping your left shoulder in, gaze comes up. That should be plenty for a nice twist. If you'd like more, you can receive your left hand behind your left knee and take a bind, which is just receiving your right fingertips into the left. It looks like this from behind. Wrapped around the inner left thigh, and then release other side. Actually, let's take a forward fold there. I need that because my knees are pretty tired from running. I like to give my little My little shake here, just releasing the thighs a little bit. It's in one of my other videos, and just alternating between hips. Wag, wag, wag. You can see that, just pressing, balancing the weight between each heel, and just wagging your tail. Okay, coming back into that deep malasana. Other side, bracing the right arm into the right inner thigh. You could stay here, lifting your hand, or just sinking, dropping the right shoulder in. Gaze comes up to the left. Take it one step further by receiving the hand behind the knee for a bind. Even just pressing prayer hands can give you that twist. So you experiment, your body, your rules, your experience. Just getting into the inner groin, the inner thighs, hips, incorporating the twist in the spine. And then release, forward fold, little wag, releasing any tension. Walking your hands forward, downward dog. Breathe in. Filling up the side body. Exhale, release. Come forward, high plank. Hold for 3 breaths. Really engage the inner thighs, activating the quadriceps off the knee, tucking the tail slightly, getting length all the way from the crown of the head out through the active lifted heels. And then we're going to lower to the mat, to the floor in the count of 5. Elbows in, 4. If you need to use your knees, go for it. 3, 2, 1. Left ear to the mat. Arms along your body. Completely land here. Nice, long breaths. Wow, it's already been 22 minutes. I'm going to try to wrap this up in a couple. We've got a lot of rotation. Now it's time for some extension. So here we come into Cobra, pressing the mat away as you lift your upper thoracic. Shoulders are away from your ears, not like this, but like this. Peeling your scapula down your back. Gaze comes up. Shoulders are open, elbows slightly bent, pressing actively into your palms as the gaze comes up, activating the glutes, protecting the lower back. Lower. Inhale up. And lower. And one more. Inhale up. And lower. Right ear to the mat. Allow your arms to come alongside you. Fully surrender. Feeling the support of your mat, of the floor, and even farther beneath that, Mama Earth, Pachamama, receiving you, you're receiving your practice, receiving your wishes for wellness and self-care. Bend your right knee. Receive your right foot with your right hand. Mini back bend here. So with a bit of a quad stretch. So activating, lifting. Gaze comes up. Activating the toes into the hand. Opening the front shoulder. Bring breath to the back body with this gentle back bend. Creating flexibility, openness, suppleness. And then release. Other side. Left foot into the left hand. Pressing with the other hand. You can press up and give yourself A bit of a lift through the front body. Gaze comes up, maybe even slightly back to the left. Kicking the left hand into the the left toes into the left hand. One more breath. And release. Bend both knees this time and just windshield wiper your feet side to side. Releasing the lower back, creating mobility. And come back to neutral. Receive both hands. I like to take my hands on the the outside of the feet and lift for Dhanurasana bow pose. 3 breaths here. And release. Windshield wiper your feet side to side. And then press your palms under your shoulders and right up into a high plank to a down dog. Walk your feet to your hands. Come all the way up to stand. Cactus arms. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Getting that flexion in. Really nice. Closing out this practice with a really nice, generous ragdoll. Flowing side to side. Halfway lift. Come into chair pose. Lifting your fingers all the way up. Feet are planted, inner thighs engaged, and we're going to lower the count of 5 all the way to our seats. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower onto the mat. Full body stretch. Extending your toes and fingertips away from each other. And then inhale your right knee to your chest. Nice hug in, squeeze in towards your nose if you'd like to bring your nose to your knee. Inhale, release. Exhale, left knee toward chest. If you want a little bit more, knee toward nose. Inhale, full body stretch. Again, take your right knee toward your chest. Scoot your hips over to the right. And then take your right knee across the body for a final spinal twist. Receiving the right outer right thigh with your left hand, giving yourself that assist as you reach your right fingertips over to the right. Gaze can come over to your right fingertips. You want to feel this stretch. You might need to do some adjusting. The left leg is nice and long. And you want to feel the stretch through the mid-thoracic, that side body, the ribs, not the hips necessarily, because we're not, actually the hip is okay, the outer hip, but not the lower back or the lumbar. If that is the case, you need to scoot your hips over toward the right more. So you're more on the left side of the body, not still laying flat on the mat. This is truly one of my favorite poses. I could stay here for 20 minutes. Release any tensions. Keep breathing from fingertips all the way out to your toes. From the crown of your head all the way out your heel. Fill every nook and cranny of your body with a nourishing, abundant breath. And slowly come out of this. Spinal twist, full body. Inhale through neutral spine. Inhale your left knee toward your chest. Scoot your hips over to the left and drop the left knee over toward the right. Gaze comes to the left, toward the left fingertips. Extending through the right heel, nice and long. Feeling you release through the upper mid-thoracic, upper and mid-thoracic. Lengthening with each inhale. Deepening the twist with each exhale. No matter where you are in your day, giving yourself this space to just be in complete gratitude for what your body provides and offers you. Strength, flexibility, protection, wellness. And slowly come out of this, unwinding onto your back. Full body stretch, inhale. Exhale into Shavasana, allowing your legs and arms to come out wide. Take up so much space that you deserve on your mat, in your community, in this world. And stay here for at least 10 breaths. I'm going to stop the recording, but I'm going to let you stay in your Shavasana. We went a little bit over than I thought, but it just was too juicy. Amazing. Enjoy your Shavasana. I honor you, and I'm so glad you're watching. Even though I'm not here really with you, I'm thinking about you. Reach out anytime with questions, requests. I want to make these little videos really worth your while, your time, and your practice. Namaste.